And we are live. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Oh, I think I got that.
Oh yeah, that's my shit.
Oh, there it is.
That's my shit.
Also, gotta have my JJ. You like that one, right? Gotta get the Soldier Boy going on.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I troll my wife with
fly
that
up in
one
there.
whenever we're watching the show You. So. But yeah, she hates it. She like anytime, like anybody on that show says You, like I'll be in the kitchen just screaming across the house, like, who did I say? What did I say? Who's going out? You going out.
You gotta do the getting up in there
Oh, yeah.
with it though. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, I got Superman that hoe. You know what I'm talking about?
William, do it again, just for the people.
So next time, all the guys out there, you're making love to your lady, make sure you Superman that hoe whilst, so. So, anyways, what's going on, Nooners? We're live. It's Thursday. JJ's stressing out about the Steelers game. Who are they playing tonight?
They're playing them Vikings, man.
Yeah,
Seahapes
I don't claim them though.
Seahapes.
Mm-hmm.
Seahapes from the dirty cold north.
Right.
He's got them boys, and
At least it's
we'll
not
see how
that
we do
cold
against
today.
them.
It's 32 right now. It was like -3 or 5 the other morning. That was too much for me.
Yeah, it's pretty cold. We've actually here in Iowa, we've kind of escaped that so far. Like the highs have been like mid 50s, which is pretty awesome. But and then next week, like next Wednesday, it's supposed to be like a high of 75 right now, which is weird. Which pretty much means
tomorrow we're supposed to get about a foot of snow.
Fuck that noise. I hate snow.
Yeah. It's cool for Christmas, and then I want it gone.
Yeah. Jessica, have you ever seen snow?
Holly,
What?
Jessica, have you ever seen snow? Like in person?
Oh my God, yes. Just because I'm from California. It's here.
I don't know. I know
I've
people.
actually only seen snow a couple times.
I'm about to say, I know people live in Florida that have never seen snow in person. So
I lived in Germany when I was in the army, and it snowed they got like the most snow they had gotten in like 20 years.
Oh yeah.
Like the day I got there.
Well, like southern Germany, or were you like up in Frankfurt?
Yeah,
like right outside.
My buddy he was stationed there flying Apaches out of there, and he was like, it was basically just they were flying the like Russia border and shit up there all the time, and he's like, it was just all snow, like for 8 months out of the year, it was just snow in the mountains, just constantly.
Yeah. So, well, anyways, welcome everybody. Obviously, tonight I am joined by JJ, the host of High and Angry, who at this point in time has been on enough shows he might actually kind of be my de facto co-host. So we'll see how that one goes. We've also got the ever lovely Jessica. How's it going, Jessica?
Wonderful. I've got my wine. I'm good.
Nice. Got your wine. I love using my soundboard. And then we're also joined by the now, it's finally been resolved. He is officially going by Seahapes. What's going on?
We're good. You know, when Holloway gives you a nickname, I guess you got to embrace it. So I'm all right with that.
Yeah, anytime if Dan Holloway gives you a nickname or calls you like shithead, dirtbag, I get piece of shit a lot from him.
He called me bitch. Made my day.
Yeah, it's an honor, you know.
I
So,
try to tell people that, like, he called me a dumb bitch. He's done it multiple times, but it
yeah, it's a term of
it's
affection.
it's like a term of endearment from him.
If I can become his only
I love
black
it.
friend, that'd be great too. But you know, I'm already other people's only black friends, so that I mean, you know.
Right. I've said it on the 4J or on the show before, JJ, that you are the neuters. Every neuters, I have a black friend defense.
That's it. Yeah, I'm here for you. I'm here for you, Nooners. Just
So,
hit me in my DMs. That's all you got to do.
yep. But yeah, so being called any kind of a derogatory name or, shithead, piece of shit, stupid bitch from Dan Holloway is definitely a badge of honor to wear, because if he really thought you were any of those things, he just wouldn't acknowledge you in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's cool. How's everybody in the live chat doing tonight? Is the audio coming in all right? Video? I'm using this like sweet new app that I found. So now my super not poor iPhone 13 Pro Max super absorbent blah 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 can get me some 4K video for this one. You know, I think it's working out
Just
well.
flexing over there.
Mm-hmm. Got all the
Is that what
filters. Yeah, I'm using my phone right now as a webcam. I've still got my laptop
and you
up and
use
shit,
mine.
but I found an app to where you can like use it as a webcam for your computer. I'll shoot it to you. It's pretty dope. It's free. So, but yeah,
You're not supposed to say something's free, and now you sound poor.
Yeah,
you gotta work harder.
Fuck, you're right. Now I gotta go find a paid one. Damn it!
Ooh,
Right
yeah.
around Christmas
I
too. Like, fuck.
That's the Gulag Gang for life, baby. You know what I'm saying? You gotta work harder. You gotta get in them trenches.
Yep.
You know,
Gang.
gang.
Yeah.
That's it.
Gang. Work harder. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, if you're in a rough situation.
Make sure.
Bootstrap Bill.
Yeah. Oh shit. He's English too, so he'd be like bootstraps, right?
Good, I guess. I rarely
love that.
wear boots. It's been a very long time since I've pirated. You know, that was a phase of my 20s. You know, I met some pretty wild Somali guys, smoked a bunch of khat. You know, started being a pirate for a while.
I am the captain now.
Yeah, so that's where
Hold
that
on,
movie got
I'm
that
sorry.
wrong. That was actually me. They blackwashed my character in that movie.
Blackwashed.
But let me tell you something. Captain Phillips wasn't near as charming as Tom Hanks, okay? Like I was a
Well,
dick.
I'm saying the Somalis got as bad as teeth as the British, though, don't they? You know what I'm saying? In that same vein of things, though, right?
Yeah, the British teeth thing is fucking real, and it's hereditary. Like this mouth. That's why I stay away from the camera as much as possible. It's gnarly. Like I got teeth like fucking summer teeth. Summer here, summer there, doing jumping jacks and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Don't believe in braces in Iowa either. Braces
I
don't exist.
had braces, and then when I was still living in North Carolina, right before I moved to Iowa, actually, like I went to a normal dental appointment. So this was like early 20s, and they're like, "Oh, your wisdom teeth are coming in." It's like, "Don't worry, you have plenty of room." Well, it turns out I didn't have plenty of room, and they my wisdom teeth coming in fucked up all my other teeth. So it's been
I got that going on right now.
Mhm.
Sucks.
Yeah, so the past, I don't know, 2 years, I've been doing quite a bit of work. And anybody who has dental insurance, by the way, like dental insurance fucking sucks no matter how good of a job you have, I've found.
Yeah, it's shit.
Straight garbage. Straight garbage is what it is.
Woob Raider said Billiam's teeth are throwing up gang signs. I like that one. I'm keeping that. I'm stealing that. That's a good one.
He's one of the funniest dudes in the chat every day.
Womb Raider. You gotta have a sense of humor when you fucking your pullout game sucks. You know, I think you got like 6 kids.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
I know. Just like what I say about like Rocco, like dude can't pull out of his own driveway. You know?
Whoa. Stop.
He making that Hollywood money though, right? You know.
I suppose.
Can't hate if you're making Hollywood money.
At
If
this
I had
point-
Hollywood money, I'd have like 10 kids.
Yeah, well, I think at this point with all that kids, like the Hollywood money is like what's required, you know. But I worked with a guy with 10 kids one time with the same woman, and I always asked him, like, at that point, does the government just like put money on your checks? Like you've hit, like once you hit a deductible threshold, they just start adding it to your checks. He didn't get it.
Hey, I went to high school. I went to high school with like 3 Irish Catholic families that had like 12 kids apiece. I mean, like one of the families actually lived in the rectory at the church where our Catholic school was. They lived in the rectory, which is where priests and nuns live.
Oh, wow.
So they had 10 kids or 12 kids living in the rectory at the church. And I mean, they would walk, obviously they walked to school every day. It was a trip.
Yeah. Well, maybe Womb Raider should spend more time blowing loads in his wife's rectory. And there
Go over
wouldn't be
their
any
house.
kids, you know.
Sorry, Billy. And I had to let the.
So. Anyways, hair's looking on point tonight, JJ.
I had to let the flow.
Womb Raider's gonna be a grandpa.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna get it as
Damn.
6 kids.
a grandpa.
Womb Raider's over here saying 6 kids, 2 houses, 2 beautiful women, and one of my kids is having twins. Well, congratulations on the twin grandparentage. The 2 women thing, like, are you Mormon? Because that would explain a lot.
How is he having grandkids?
Womb Raider? I mean, do you understand how grandkids work?
He's not old.
I've
Is
never
he
met
old
him.
enough?
I don't
Oh,
even
he
know if he's a
probably
real
started.
person. He could be a Russian bot just saying wild ass shit in my live chat.
I mean, you know, I think that at least 60% of everybody in every chat is at least a Russian bot.
Yeah.
So, you know, you never know. I think we're, you know, you base it off the 60-40 rule.
Yeah. Well, damn. That means like,
And I mean, 50% of them are, I mean, that means even Craig Dulesky is a Russian bot, and we didn't even know.
We knew. He tried to take out Ross. Hello. Watching you.
yeah.
Yeah, I got you, Craig. I got you.
Yeah.
I know.
Somebody, I don't know who, put it in the live chat that Ross survived the Dulesky variant, which is pretty funny. But in Craig's defense, Ross, though he thought the joke was funny, Ross said he was sick before he went to the wedding, which, you know, very irresponsible of Ross, but also nobody else at the wedding seemed to get sick, so I don't know how true that is. So,
I mean, you know, the Rona hits where the Rona wants.
no kidding. And for one, I think Thin Ross.
Was
I
it
think
only
Thin
the
Ross
Rona?
looks great, you know.
He was still getting sweaty today on the
Gross
one of the shows. I kind of noticed that he gets a little worked up some days.
Yeah.
I told him if he was drinking the high and angry rum, then he'd be okay. But you know, I gotta send some down there.
I think his body weight would dictate like 3 drops of rum would probably have him blacked out and maybe back in the hospital at this point. I was really trying to I don't know if anybody follows me on like Instagram and shit, but a couple months ago I accidentally paid like $25 for like one of those deep fake apps, so I used the shit out of it. and I was really trying to find some stuff from the movie Thinner to put Ross's face on. I couldn't find it.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything, but I made a really dope video of him as Freddie Mercury.
What was the line from that where he wipes the corner of his wife's mouth in bed? He's like, "Gonna be a sweet treat." Wasn't that the line from Thunder?
I think so. I haven't seen that movie in years.
Oh, that's a good one.
So, but we'll jump right into this. Enough of our bullshit. Jessica just keeps on and on and on and on. Just kidding, Jessica. So
I'm trying not to.
What was that? Try not to interrupt.
Oh, nothing though.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so there's something that has come up quite a bit in live chats in the past, and everybody seems to have an opinion on it. So I figured, like, hell, might as well get some people on and talk about it and see what the live chat thinks. But whenever the subject of higher education seems to be discussed on the all the podcasts, it seems like there's a fairly general consensus that most four-year degrees, or I guess maybe most four-year universities, so to speak, the value compared to what you pay just isn't equal anymore. I don't even know what college tuition is at a normal state college anymore. Like, I would assume that before books and living expenses, like a four-year degree at like University of Iowa has got to be somewhere around, I don't know, like 15 grand a year. I'm not sure. I know what it was when I was in school at NC State, and it was pretty damn expensive. But also,
Wolfpack.
Yeah. Also, though, like, unlike a lot of people that I went to school with that went directly to college, I went to a community college first and ended up saving a shit ton of money. But I remember being like a senior in high school, so this would have been 06, so a while ago, but not that long ago in the grand scheme of things, or at least I guess maybe I want to think that so I don't realize how old I am. Or that, age is a thing that comes and gets us all. But I had my advisor, like senior advisor, was actively trying to talk me out of going to community college first. Almost made it seem like, oh yeah, like if you want to go to community college, I guess, McDonald's hires people all the time. So I don't know, like it seems like trade schools have or I don't know, I'm not gonna say historically, but in the, I don't know, post 2001 era, I guess you could say, that time frame, it seems like they've been actively pushed as less than, and 18-year-old kids are being asked to go spend $100,000 that they don't have, that they get in debt, to go get a degree that when they come out doesn't really seem to be worth a whole hell of a lot anymore. I don't know what you guys think about that. It just seems like any kind of, at least in my opinion, any kind of non-trade specific four-year degree from a, state university, when you get out, any kind of job that's available for that isn't worth the money you paid for the degree.
So, Billiam, I got told my senior year of high school that I should become a garbage man. It was told to me flat out, like, hey, look, maybe college isn't the thing for you, even though I was on, I was a member of the National Honor Society. I had, maybe there were several things factored into the point that I should probably be a garbage person, but it doesn't matter. I've got a philosophy and theater arts performance degree from a university that gave me a scholarship because of, I mean, you could call it affirmative action, but I went and took a test with a bunch of other Black people, and they're like, "Hey, let's give this Black person who got a good grade on the test some money to go to college." And I mean, look, I went to Pitt, and I think I was out of state, and out of state was like 25 grand a year, and I got like 17 of it paid through this. I took a test, and they gave me a scholarship as long as I kept my GPA above like 3.5. There's loopholes for everybody. I had a professor who once told me that he went to Rutgers, and it's a little known fact that Rutgers has a scholarship for gingers. If you are a true ginger, you can go and compete against all the other gingers with a test and get a scholarship to go to Rutgers. So if you're out there, go to Rutgers, look up the ginger scholarship, and definitely get that cash.
So you're saying that Rutgers has a scholarship that not one single soul has ever been awarded?
Yeah, no, there's no souls involved because we know that they're soulless. But what I am saying is that, even if your beard grows in like Dan Holloway's, like kind of gingery gray blondie, like you could still probably swing it in your preference.
Yeah, I applied for. I'm like 132nd Miami Nation Indian. So I tried to get a scholarship through them.
I see it in your face.
Yeah, my ultra white English face.
Yeah. No, I see it.
I applied for a college scholarship through them, and they sent me a pretty pointed letter about how they don't appreciate me trying to take advantage of my 32nd of Miami nationality.
You got to shoot your shot, though, man.
Hey, they got the money. White people can't build casinos. Actually, I think we can. That's what Vegas is there for.
Any of them. Some of these tribes are real stingy.
Yeah. I mean, I know that I'm half Black, and my mom, Mrs. Cambody. If you're in the chat, Mrs. Cambody, she was in my Instagram chat. She told me to check Black on all of my stuff, and I did. So.
Yeah, I asked my wife that. But go ahead, Jessica.
What Jake was saying about like even the like ginger scholarship or whatever scholarship that you went out for, and like for me, no one from my family went to college. Like there was no expectation for any of us to go. And I was a good student, not in high school. I ended up doing pretty bad, but that was for a whole other thing. But I went to junior college, and there was never any expectation on me, and my parents knew zero about the college system, about scholarship. My mom, I remember, she like apologized to me because she was like, I have no idea how to apply, how to get scholarships, how to look for any of this stuff. There's just like, and the school that I came from was like mostly low income. Like it was Huntington Beach High School District, but we were like the poor school. So there's a lot of Mexicans and a lot of Vietnamese at my school. And there was no pressure for anyone to go to a 4-year. They didn't expect it from anyone because everyone's family was poor and the kids were in gangs, and so they never even tried to like guide you along. I think there was like one program that started at my school that was it's called AVID. I don't know if anyone else has that in their high schools, but it was specifically to prepare kids for going to college. Like they taught you how to study, they taught you like classes you needed to take. They went on field trips to colleges. They talked to representatives from colleges. They had help the entire way through, and you can start that when you're a freshman. But that was like brand new, and no one really knew about it. I think like stuff like that definitely needs to be put into, like, especially lower income, when these kids have like no clue that that's even an option for them, that they can get help to go to college, any of that. And the other thing is, like, even if they want to go to college, like, I fully think that kids should be taking a year off at least, because probably 90% of people who find out what they actually want to do, they don't need a degree for it. There's even what I've ended up doing with interior design, which, you know, most people think is like decorating. It's not decorating. There's a lot more that goes into it. I learned building codes. I learned space planning, and like there's just a whole other thing. But the only reason that I would need to get a 4-year degree was if I wanted to go work for and places. But that, like, it's nothing's like really taught to you, like, what education level do you actually need realistically to go into the field that you want to? You don't find that out until you're like halfway through.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like I looked at it from the perspective of, you know, I wanted to be an actor, and I wanted to do stage, and I wanted to do like all kinds of shit. And like when I was in high school, there was nobody saying, hey, this is how you do this. So I didn't go to a college where it was a conservatory program for acting. Like, you know, traditionally those programs were, you know, you audition to get in. But I went to Pitt, right down the street from Carnegie Mellon University, where, like, you know, probably I would say like 50 industry actors who work actively in Hollywood right now are alumni of. And, you know, for me, I had to look to try to get my BFA through combining programs and like scrounging together bullshit. And, you know, but nobody told me. Like, I went in my first audition at the University of Pitt for one of their main stage plays, and nobody told me how the audition process worked. I didn't understand the industry. So the first thing that I did, which is what my dad taught me, was if you're going for an interview, you shake everybody's hand who's sitting behind the table. So my first audition, literally for a play, everybody sitting behind that table, I went up and I was like, hi, I'm JJ Jackson. How are you doing? Hi, I'm Jason. How are you doing? And like went down the line. Ended up, I got the part, but fuck, like how many people walked into that audition and were like, me? Nobody. Like, but nobody told me.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, when you look at it, it's like, well, let's focus in on this. Like, let's give these kids a chance. Like, nominally, I had no chance with the way I, you know, let's give these kids a chance. You know, if they like acting, or they like the arts, or they like design, or they like, you know, because stagecraft was in high school. I don't know. Right. Sorry, soapbox off.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good.
Even the fact that you had no idea, as basic as an audition, like that's something they should teach you like day one. You know what I mean? Like, and people like to shit on the junior colleges, and you know, there's you know, whatever, they're not as way, like a slacker if you go to a community college. However, I went to Long Beach. Cal State Long Beach has the best interior design program in Southern California, pretty much, maybe San Diego. But I got into that program and I was going through it, and I didn't stay there because I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Like, they're making me take industrial design classes, my major. I wasn't even in the interior design program after I transferred doing 2 years of all this shit. They had me in the general design. And then after 2 years of taking more general ed and more industrial design, then I could apply to get into their interior design program. Like they were going to waste 2 more years of my life doing shit that wasn't applying to my major at all. And I spent 1 semester there and I was like, I'm not fucking doing this. This is insane. I'm 30 years old. I can't do this for another 4 years. It's gonna be 4 more years after I transferred there, after doing 2 years. I went back to the junior college and I knew this before, but it really hit me. Like every single one of the classes that I took there, my instructors were actually working in the field. They had their own businesses. They knew what the fuck they were doing, and all of their projects were specific job skill related. You were not learning anything that was like they honed those classes down so that you are prepared for a job as soon as you leave there. So I think like I'm gonna do their certificate program. If someone doesn't want to hire me because I didn't get the bachelor's degree, then
hey,
so be it. You
well,
know,
at least you didn't get out of college with a 4-year degree and then enlist in the Army as an airborne infantryman. So
no, so I made sure I got that out of the way. And then I left to go to the Army, and then I came back and was like, okay, this is actually what I knew what I wanted to do at that point.
My drill sergeants told me I was really good at acting like I was an infantryman. So,
Yeah.
Ew,
What about you, Seahapes? Like, what was your experience like coming out of high school? And like, did you go to school? Did you go to tech school, or did you go straight to the workforce?
Actually, I feel like I got kind of lucky. I knew what I wanted to do right away, which was to become a machinist. I grew up around like monster trucks and 4-wheel drive racing and all sorts of shit like that. So then a lot of guys that are my dad's age, they're all I would talk to them like, where'd you buy that like part on your truck? Well, I made it. And then that was the answer for all of them. I'm like, well, shit, I want to have a cool truck, so I want to make my own shit too. So then I took all like the high school metal shop classes, figured I had a future in it, got a job sweeping floors at a machine shop in town, and then decided that, well, I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to go to college. So when I was talking to my guidance counselor in high school, they kind of laughed at me. They're like, well, why do you want to go work in a filthy shop like that? Why wouldn't you want to do, X, Y, or Z? And I was like, well, I'm not really cut out for that. I'm kind of fucking stupid. Like, you guys know that. Look at my grades. Like, I wasn't at all fucking elite, like, academic kid at all. So then Molly brought me a note. She says that education system does not measure intelligence, it measures obedience. Yeah, she wanted me to get that in. She popped in, handed that fucker to me, which I agree with that too.
Fair.
I don't really think that the school system works. They don't fucking want to help you. They don't want to help guide you. Like, nothing like that. Like, I got shit on because I knew what I wanted to do. And then I chose not to go to college right away because I had a job. I wanted to gain experience before I went to college. And to me, I mean, I think it worked out. I've been doing it for 16 fucking years. I'm on my second company since high school. Like, I knew what I wanted to do. And the way I see other kids that are younger and in high school now, the way they get stifled. Like, I know kids that said they wanted to be a plumber and then they get fucking laughed at. Like, my ex-brother-in-law made millions before. He owned a fucking plumbing company. I don't get why people shit on.
I watch these dudes, and like I'm certified, like train the trainer on a lot of plumbing applications, whether it's like groove pipe, solvent cementing, etc. General pipe fitting, and I'm like, and I don't have a background. Like, I didn't go to college for that shit. I'm just a salesperson. But I think these dudes, it's like, as a salesperson, I look at these dudes and they're in the trades and they're making more money than I am. And it's like, okay, well, where did I fuck up? But no, I get you, man. Like if you want to be something and you got the idea in your head, then like, we need to create an environment where that idea is cultivated, gets stepped all on, because it's just like me wanting to be an actor in high school, right? I want to be an actor. Well, how are you going to make money doing that? Well, I think I can do this. Well, there's this obstacle. It's like, well, if you guys would have said to me, you need to go audition for conservatory theater programs to become one of the, like, they call them mafia programs, because essentially, if you go to the right school, you get the jobs beyond that school, the acting jobs. It's like, if you would have steered me in that direction, then I wouldn't be sitting here. And it's like, we need to give our kids that kind of direction, to where it's like, inspiration and the stifling of ideas is so abound that it's like, no, you need to go and get a poli-sci degree. Well, that's not gonna help you. You're just gonna become another rube talking to other rubes about rube shit. Like, give me a break. Like, go apply yourself. Actually.
Yeah, we already have one Ruben.
Part
So
of
we
it
don't
too
need
is
any
like
more Rubens. But yeah,
like, I mean, one issue I see with sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, Bill.
No, go ahead. You're making some pretty good points.
Like, one issue I see with people that are coming through now, like, I've been at my company now for almost 11 years, and I'm kind of one of the more guys older than me that are starting and they're fresh in the trade, like ex-construction workers. They hurt their back and they can't do it anymore. But then there's a lot of people that come in because they got pushed, and then maybe it was a shitty guidance counselor or like a uncle that didn't really know what they wanted to do. So, hey, you should go try being a machinist. Well, then they come into our shop and it's like bare minimum. Like, no one wants to put any effort in. No one wants to learn. And we've been seeing that so much more. And I've been working with engineering interns for the last 3 years. I have them come in and they run our CMM machine. So they do all of our inspection and that kind of crap. And a lot of the kids are super intelligent. I have one guy right now that he's leaving to go work for Polaris, and it sucks. Like, I hate losing him. But the kid I had before him, he could not get through the full day without asking me simple questions, same shit over and over. And I'm like, you spent $50,000 per year to get a 4-year degree, and you don't know shit. You've been here for a year and a half. Like, I feel bad that he's an intern, and I'm doing my best to teach him, but I don't really get what the disconnect with that stuff is. Like, I don't know if it's motivations in people.
Chapes, you gotta be built a certain way. Like, it's the same thing that I was talking about last night on my cast with being a salesperson. Like, being a salesperson, like I've watched many a person fail sitting in a meeting or being quote unquote personable, or even having a semblance of what does this customer need? And that's not, I think what we got away from is the fact that there are inherent tendencies and learned tendencies, and ones that's great if you're cultivating a a long-term technical career, like, because you learned something. But the inherent tendencies, I feel like we're not cultivating that with our kids, where it's like, look, if you are outgoing, if you've got a way with people, if you've got this, then you could possibly do this, and maybe start out there. But the rest of it is just icing on the fucking cake, especially if you learn a trade beyond your inherent tendencies. And it's like, we're not giving, all we're giving is negative feedback in a loop to people who look at themselves in the, we're teaching our kids to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, I want to be a doctor. It's like, nah, nigga, you don't want to be a doctor. What you want to be is a person that helps take care of people. Well, maybe that's geriatric care or occupational therapy. Like, there's an inherent thing in people, and it's like that, instead of stifling it by something that's so far beyond what the actual impetus of their curiosity is, and feed the impetus of that curiosity instead of stifling it, being like, you're going to be president of the United States. Well, like, maybe you'll be a staff member for Congressman so and so. Like, give them that. Like, that's appropriate. That's good.
Right. And I think that kind of goes to the point, like Seahapes was making about, he already knew kind of what he wanted to do. And I think like any kind of blue collar trade now seems to be looked down on by the education system. And just like you also said, was that, the education system is very much flawed. I think that children are taught now, especially with standardized testings in high schools, like you're taught to pass the test. That's something that I kind of learned in high school. I figured that one out. Mainly because my mother is an educator and she hates that system. And she even told me, like, what they're teaching you, like, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's the curriculum. You need to do what they're saying. But, like, you're not kids. I mean, I get, like, a kid in middle school doesn't quite know how to think, what the fuck to think, right? But once you're in high school, I mean, you're molding people, at least at one point in time. I feel high school is made to mold kids into semi-capable adults by the time they leave, right? And now they're just being pounded, like a book shoved in their face and pounded to pass a test, right? And no real efforts made into, making them into a thoughtful human and preparing them for the lives outside that door, right? I think if they did that, you'd still have plenty of kids going to college, right? They'd be like, oh, I've thought it through. I think this is what I want to do. And the best path for that is to go straight to a 4-year degree. But now it's oh, hey kid, you're really good at writing. You should become a writer. And here's the top 4 schools for writing. I was like, in reality, somebody should be like, hey, if you love writing, just write. And, and get better at it. Like, start from the ground up. And
hey, I got a really great book for the writers out there. It's The Strunk and White. Sit down with The Strunk and White. They're on their 7th edition right now. I think I've showed it to you guys in our chat. Yeah. Sit down with the book, the manual for the thing, and I will tell you that you will find more in that book on the elements of style than you will sitting in the class listening to some old gray-haired motherfucker being like, well, what you have to do is accommodate the real punctuation with it's like, no, shut the fuck up, read the book.
Right. And that's
and they don't teach you shit like that, JJ. Like, it's I firmly believe that college is like a for-profit industry. So they're going to try to tell you what's actually important. They get to make up their own curriculum. They're not preparing you for the fucking job that you're seeking. They're just telling you what they think you need to know, what they deem important. And right. a lot of people that I've noticed in my trade that go into education, they're the guys that didn't know shit. They didn't have a good experience in the shop. So, well, if you can't do, I'll teach. And it's probably ways they don't have to have accountability. Like,
that's the old saying is if you can't do, you teach. And that's fucked up.
Like, I imagine that's how it is for most trades and most other career paths. Like, you're not getting the top of the line people like former CEOs to teach classes or whatever else. I mean, whatever your subject may be.
Yeah.
But you're not getting those people. You're getting the good enough. Like
Yeah.
maybe I was good enough to do it.
Yeah, and I think that almost points out. Dan Holloway had a really good conversation yesterday with a prior, I guess, a person who formerly was in academia, and she kind of spoke to how tenured professors, or I guess professors in general, are all working towards tenure, and that's the motivation, not teaching people. And for you, like in the kind of like what you said, Seahapes, almost like the industry of higher education. And that's where, so my story is, so I went to a community college. I actually took a year off after high school, ish. I mean, I went like part-time to a community college. You know, I took like 1 or 2 classes for, 2 semesters, but nothing stressful because I don't know. I felt like, and I still feel like maybe I was one of the rare kids who saw what the push to go into college was, like, and realized like, hey, like this guy that's telling me, not to go to community college first, like, I don't think he really like knows what he's talking about. I think that he's bought into this, like, if you don't have a 4-year degree, then you're going to be a failure in life. And I guess maybe my advantage was my dad was until very recently like a painting contractor, and did well for many years without. I mean, he's from London, so who knows what kind of fucking education he got. He probably, like, I think he left school at like 16 and started working. He was able to be successful. My mom was going to school to be a teacher and got pregnant with my brother. My older brother left and was an assistant for years, and then worked her way, like went to school part-time with 2 kids and became a teacher. And then in a very short amount of time, career-wise, I mean, so she was probably in her early 30s when she became an actual, like, degreed teacher. And then by the time I was a senior in high school, so fast forward 15 years, she was a very successful elementary school principal, turned a impoverished school around, and was being begged to run for superintendent of one of the wealthier counties in North Carolina. So with that, I thought, like, I was able to kind of look at that and be like, this whole, like, you have to go to college or you're going to be a failure was kind of a lie. So I went to community college and loved it. I thought, to your point about, the educators and universities and stuff, I actually thought my community college teachers were great because they were all, most of them were like part-time, especially anything revolving any of the actual. So I went for engineering, mechanical engineering. Any of the people, like the machine shop guy, the actual like CAD engineering teacher, the welding teacher, they were all like, that's what they did full-time and wanted to teach people to do that. So I got so much, and like I said, kind of the beginning of this discussion, it's a discussion on like value of the education you're paying for. I got so much more value out of that, right? Because I was actually being taught by people within the industry instead of people that are teaching you the theory about what you might go do one day. So I got my 2-year degree from there. It took me 3.5 years because I like to, every once in a while I'd take I don't know about community college where you're at. The community colleges where I'm at are full of all the really hot girls that weren't smart enough to go to a 4-year school right off the bat, so there was some distractions, but then I transferred to NC State, but by the time I transferred, I already had a job doing design engineering with a company. I was also doing some part-time work for Mazda as a racing engineer for their road racing crew. And a year into, a $12,000 a semester education, I was like, this is not the same thing. The way I'm being taught is not the same as what got me here. And then that was right around 08. I think it was actually 09 technically, but like I said, my dad was a painting contractor. My mom was still a teacher at that time. Shit went south. And up until then, I was fortunate enough to kind of have their financial support for education. So after that, they kind of said, hey, if you want to finish your degree, it's kind of going to be on you. So I made and I actually kind of ran the numbers and thought like, hey, I'm already in a job doing what I want to do with this degree. Do I really want to go into debt in another year and a half of school? So I left, and I never got a 4-year degree in engineering. Yet I'm still working as an engineer because I have the job experience. And I think I tell a lot of people that a lot of these degrees nowadays, I think most of them, or I don't know most of them, a fair few of them, if you go get a 2-year degree in what you are passionate about, the extra 2 years of job experience you will get, like if you get a 2-year, go into the market, do what you want to do. You might start at a lower level, but that extra 2 years of job experience is going to put you in a better place for far less money than if you went directly to a 4-year school to get a degree in that.
Well, Bill, I tell you, 90% of the motherfuckers that I know that have a PE and they took the PE test and they're certified PEs, I mean, they're miserable and they fucking hate the companies that they work for, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, like, it's not recommended by the people who have PEs to the people whom are engineering students behind them to go and get their PE. Right. But I mean, like, to the point, it's like Jessica, like, I'm sure that, you could look at a CAD or a BIM drawing of a room, and you can design programs that you've cultivated and accumulated over time, especially in this technological age, and be like, oh well, the aesthetic says this, or I think this within the design concept. Like there's to everything, everybody has an eye to everything. Like I feel like personally should have been pushed more into being in the theater arts or the arts in general, or speaking, etc. But the barrier to entry becomes other people's expectations at that academic level. And to be honest, it's like I said before, it's a bunch of gray-haired motherfuckers that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And that's the barrier to entry that everybody must understand. That's their barrier of entry to their quote unquote success. Right. So give that a thought before you sit down in a classroom that's costing you $20,000 a year, because your barrier of entry is this motherfucker who couldn't do, so he's teaching, and that's your barrier of entry. So you need to prove to him that you can do and not teach. Right. You know what I mean?
I do want to kind of go back and say, like, I'm not trying to shit on anybody that has went directly into school. I'm not trying to shit on anybody whose kids are in school. I'm not doing that at all. I'm simply just giving you my opinion on what the value of a lot of degrees are. And somebody in here said, DJ Davies, kind of to my point, is most people that go and get non-STEM degrees end up working end up having careers in fields unrelated. So like I said, I mean, I left without getting a 4-year degree in engineering. There's been some downfalls of that. Obviously a lot of jobs, there's some jobs that I've applied for that said, hey, you don't have the degree. You have the experience and exactly what we want. You don't have the degree. So sorry. But also I know like I definitely want the guy who's designing the airplane I'm riding on to have some sort of higher education. I just knew at that point I was doing what I wanted to do. I was doing CAD part design, for for a manufacturing company. That's what I enjoyed doing. I still enjoy doing it. So at that point, like I said, the whole point of this is the value. The 40 some $1,000 I was going to have to go into debt just to finish the degree to go do what I wanted to do didn't have value at that point. So yeah, I guess that's my point. Like, once again, like I, as a parent, I'm still kind of struggling with what do I tell my kids about, higher education. And I think, part of that is that I'm still ingrained with, college is the way to go. But yeah, like, so I don't know. I mean, I think, yeah, we all have
Jessica,
kids.
Jessica, did you take the student loan repayment program, or did you, you got your education after, so you use the GI Bill, but I didn't take the student loan repayment program when I went in after college. I paid off my student loans in the hopes that I would be able to get like a master's degree, which I'm still like, that's on the horizon. I will get my master's degree in whatever with my GI Bill, but fuck, like, find the time. Yeah. I got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, like, Jesus.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is like, yeah. Go ahead, Jessica. Go ahead.
Semester I was in school, after COVID started, I was still in school full time, and she was not in school, and I was homeschooling her and trying to do my classes. Like, holy shit, that was non-existent. Like, I had to pass my classes or pay back the GI Bill. Like,
payback, right? That's what it is. I watched my brother do that shit, and I'm like, nah, there's no way I can pay that. Like, yeah. Pay it back. Fuck.
But what? So I wanted to just, like, real quick with we're talking about, like, what do you say to what do you do with your kids now, right? Because you know all these things. You know that the university system is somewhat of a just, money-making machine. Do they need to be charging that much? Fuck no. But it is still useful if, I think it's dependent on the child, honestly, because, and not only that, but making sure when they're young, you're encouraging them as much as you can to try new things, to explore interests, to let them decide what they want to get into, because not only are they, like, parents these days are so focused on getting their kid to college, they don't give a shit what their kid's actually interested in or what they would want to go to college for. It's just, we need to get there. You're going to go to a good college, and this is how we're going to do it. So, and school doesn't encourage you to explore your interests. They have their curriculum, their testing, and this is what we got to do. This is how we get you through. No one cares what the kid is interested in. So as a parent, I think that's probably one of the most important things, is allowing your child the freedom to figure out what they like at a young age. Like, I know for a fact my kid's going to be doing something with animals. Like, I can't get her away from animals. If she's on YouTube, she's watching animal videos, playing a video game with animal games. Just,
what's their aptitude, right? Like,
right. Like, what do they want to do, and at what level are they going to be able to do that, and how do I help them figure that out, and not be worried about if they're going to go to a 4-year, if they're going to go to a trade school, or whatever that is. Like, I think that should be basic healthy parenting, is loving your kid, figure a level. I mean, because obviously trade schools, these guys are making more money than kids who come out of a 4-year with a major. And, their bachelor's degree, master's, whatever, they're not making the same money. So that should be just irrelevant to what you're helping your kid get to.
I mean, it's one of those things where you're just like, okay, like, my mother has a PhD in, higher education, et cetera, but she taught 8th grade language arts and reading for 37 years in Columbus public school system. Like, where does that aptitude go? But what was stressed to me is that if you have an aptitude for something, you need to pursue it in such a way that it will benefit you further on. And I looked at acting in that way. Like me personally, I was like, I will make money doing that. Now that unfortunately for most of the, and I don't know how many actors or actresses there are out there, that doesn't happen for the majority of people. But at the same time, after I got out of the army and did my stint, like I looked at sales and I was like, you know what? This is just almost exactly like this other thing. And I was like, I could probably apply 95% of the skill that I gleaned from this into this. And it works. It works. And it's about aptitude. If you have the aptitude for the thing, why not culture that? Why not, cultivate that in a sense or in a way that, will work for the individual versus like, hey, go get your, like I said, go get your poli sci degree or go get your PE or go get your, whatever the fuck dumb degree and just be like the rest of the machine. Like,
Sure.
let's cultivate aptitude.
Right.
Yeah, and like I've always loved art. I've always loved drawing and whatever, anything to do with art. But in high school, I just remember everyone saying that like art's not a degree. You can't go be an artist. You're not going to make any money. You need to make you money. That's all you hear, right? Like you can't do any creative.
Now, if you were a high school kid now saying you want to be an artist, they'd be like, well, you need to go to I don't know, what's a big art school? New York.
You need to go to Pratt.
Yeah.
You need to go to Pratt right now.
Yeah, you can't be an artist without $100,000 degree in how to make art, right?
But I remember thinking, like, I can't be an artist. I have to find something else to do. That's not a realistic goal. Right. So I didn't do that. I went into community college right after high school, and I did everything else. I was a political science major. I was a psychology major. I went into art history. I tried everything. And then I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to go to the army.
Why do you think that after I got my degree in acting, I was like, I'm going to be an airborne infantryman? Yeah, there's no fucking way.
Coming back and then like really thinking about it after I had been to the army, and I'm like, I'm still artistic. Like this is who I am. I love art, but I know that I'm also little more technical too. I'm not just an artist. So the design part of it is what caught me. The having to be precise with your design and also having that artistic outlet.
Well, yeah, it's putting a discipline to your art, right? That's yes. Putting a discipline to your art.
Exactly. And I didn't know that was a profession before.
Man, we're like opposite stories. That's great. And you went to the army and then went to college, and then I went to college and then the army. That's I wish I would have done it the other way.
Yeah,
well,
but
I also had a divorce and a breakdown in between those. So,
hey, I'm not gonna wood for all of those things. So just
Okay.
Yeah, but kind of to your point about trade stuff like plumbers and like Shapes, to your point too. Like some of the more successful and happy people, like friends that I have out of high school, like I have one friend who right out of high school went to go work for a like a new construction plumber. And people would talk so much shit about him, like, oh, he's plumbing now,
Yeah, I think you're not unplugging fucking toilets, man.
Yeah, like that's what he's like. That's what he says. Like, I'm not like fishing your shit out of a toilet. Like I'm framing up, doing like while they're framing up a house, or like they even did commercial stuff. But he had a
Mhm.
football scholarship like Eastern Tennessee. He didn't take because he knew. He told me he's like, man, like I'm not gonna go to the NFL. So why the fuck do I need to go get like my brains beat in playing college football? So he went to go plumbing. People would talk so much shit about him, and now he owns it. He's got the professional plumbing license. He got that before I think we were even 25. Like he was like super young when he was able to get that, and then started his own business, parlayed that. He ended up like I don't know how many guys he has, but he has like last time I went to go see him like in North Carolina, he had like 10 work trucks. So I mean that's some sort of indication of success. And now he just
It's a pretty good outfit then.
started another company building like spec houses, you know, and he's probably more successful than 90% of the people I graduated with, you know. So I think it's find something. And I'm not going to say like he's like, oh, I love plumbing, but there's obviously something about that job that he knew like, hey, I could tolerate this job. There must have been something enjoyable about it, or else he wouldn't have stuck around.
Listen, Bill, when you put that level on that pipe and you understand the degree of the slope that you need to make it to the stink pipe and have proper backflow and air pressure behind what's going down the drain.
Yeah, so my dick has never been strong enough to hold a level on it for that amount of time. But I'll take your word for it. You know, I've tried.
I mean,
I've of course, like every man has tried. I want to see how level my dick is to the earth. But at the time when I tried it, all I had was like a big, like kind of like 2-foot aluminum guy.
A lot of weight.
It is. So then I tried twine and then duct tape. And then they told me to get the fuck out of Lowe's. So. So with that, I think this is obviously a subject, we can go on and on about. And I think we could probably do a whole nother. I'm sorry. I'm talking about value in education, not
about Lowe's, right?
Not me finding how level my dick is. It's about depending on the tide. It's somewhere around 1 to 2 degrees off of parallel.
That's your OnlyFans, though, right? I mean, people can catch you on your OnlyFans, though, right?
Yeah, my OnlyFans. I haven't really published that one yet. I'm debating. Really trying to find like my theme. I want to stand out amongst the crowd. I don't want to be just another tall, skinny white guy. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, on there, I at least have my fro, so I mean, like that makes me stand out pretty.
And I'm still
I don't have OnlyFans, but
I'm still like it's still 50-50 between people I've sent it to about like my dick pic angle. I've said it on the show before, but I like to do from between looking up, right, and like so you see like the head of my penis, and then you just kind of.
But you're like the
poking up over top.
No, but you like the googly eyes.
I was like, whoop.
You like the googly eyes, like I like, right? Where you put them on the end, and it's like sitting on a couch.
Yeah.
It's like, oh look, here it's sitting on a couch.
Yeah. So
or like,
I've tried
look,
that.
Here it's on the bureau.
I've never gotten any dick pics like this. I feel like I need to.
You should not have just said that on
air.
We talked about this last time I was on.
The on the Probably. Bureau making
it always comes down to dick pics shapes. What is the rule?
That skinny white guy thing is totally real. Totally real.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
what up, girl?
Remember that?
I'm a chubby, tall white guy. I understand. I'm the opposite.
From the show, when they're like, "Oh my God, go look at this TV show at this time frame," and holy shit, that thing's huge. Remember?
Yeah. Skinny white guy, tall, skinny white guy.
Yeah, but I was like, wait a minute. I know someone. I've had one of those before. Skinny white guy, the biggest one I've ever seen.
What about 5'8" black dude? I think that we have been marginalized.
I don't think anybody's been
You know,
marginalizing black guys' penises for a long time. JJ. I think that might be the one
Wait a
market
minute.
that
I
your
mean,
community has not been
I gotta check
marginalized in.
I gotta check my Pornhub history. Hold on, really quick. Hold
I would
on.
have to go look at porn because I've never seen one of those. Black guys don't like me.
Oh, that's tough.
They like my sister. They don't like me.
Oh, you know.
Well, we'll deep dive into that one in another episode.
Yeah, we can deep dive into that one in the next episode.
So, but anyways, what I was gonna say is I tried the googly eyes. They won't stick to my sack, right?
Yeah,
work, right?
That's always a problem.
But true story. My oldest had a birthday not too long ago, and my mom on the outside of the box that like of a present she got had these huge googly eyes. I mean, they're probably like 6 inches around. So later that night, obviously, I was drunk. It was a kid's birthday party. Of course, you get drunk, right? Especially if you're me.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And
yeah,
I kept those eyes for a reason because I knew that my in-laws were taking both of our boys for the night. So my wife was walking around like with no pants on, and I stuck them to her butt. And I laughed and laughed and laughed.
That's a classic move.
It had to be done. I mean, she's like, that's really immature. I was like, no, it's a
I
necessity.
mean,
It had to be done.
Sometimes butt googly eyes are better than the butt that the googly eyes are on because it just adds another layer.
Your wife has a good butt too, so.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Her butt has made her more famous in the nooner community than me. Or actually, not even her butt, just the illusion of her butt, actually. So.
Really see it, but
I'll get her on here one day.
you couldn't.
I'll get her on here one day. We'll wear our matching sweatshirts. I don't know if you're watching the video show. I'm wearing an I Don't Know Margot sweatshirt. I don't know if you understand the reference, but
I don't got that reference.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, Christmas.
So
Vacation.
my wife has a matching sweatshirt that says, "And why is the carpet all wet, Todd?" And I don't know, Margot. It's the Christmas season, y'all. Come on. Seahapes, you're not familiar with Christmas Vacation?
I don't remember that part of it. I just remember like the whole shitters full part and then the bird just.
Yeah, you got a sad trombone. And with that,
Matching sweat.
we'll wrap this thing up. We can go all night with
let's wrap it up.
With debauchery and corruption in the education system. We'll save that for another episode. So, obviously, everybody knows.
Smash that like button.
Yep. Hammer that. Crush that like button like it's in the front row of Astro World. Nothing? All right. Moving on.
And
so subscribe to the YouTube.
hit your boy up high and angry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. High and angry. So, you've, JJ, sounds like you're going to have some time to get the High and Angry podcast kind of rolling up on a regular schedule again. Can you tell us about that real quick?
Nah, we've got some changes in our future. There's some things on the horizon that are matriculating, and it will give us a little bit more time to, repartee with the people. And that's what I'm all about. Y'all know that if you've been watching, and I'm excited to kind of, give it a little bit of a churn of the butter churn for my people out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'll make sure to include a link in the bio. I'm up top, so JJ, point down like this.
I'll be down here.
Yeah, they'll be down
where
there.
where it's at.
Yeah, down there, kind of right below Shapes and JJ. So I'll put a link to all of High and Angry stuff because JJ does a very entertaining podcast, and I'm super happy that he's going to have some time to do that more regularly because it's a lot of fun. So definitely go subscribe to him. While you're at it, subscribe to me if you haven't already. It'd be very weird if you've listened this long on the live show and have not subscribed, but world's a weird place.
Rude.
Yeah, rude. You definitely won't be getting
No!
that's right, Superman that hoe. I don't know. Maybe is that the new motto for the Nooner Nation podcast? Superman that hoe. We'll workshop it. No, nothing.
No.
Shapes is looking at me.
No,
like I'm
that could be
speaking
a
different
motto.
language. All right, I'm wrapping up. I do this every time. Have so much fun wrapping up. I can see how Rogan does it for 3 hours. I reached out to him about this show. He has not responded back. So, anyways,
Joe Rogan.
yeah. So go, like, subscribe. Kind of the big currency in podcast world is iTunes. So definitely, even if you're playing it for your pets while you're out, go hit up the audio when I post this later. I know I saw in the live chat, apparently my internet connection has been pretty crappy. I'm supposed to have 1 gig to the home. Thanks a lot, Mediacom. If you ever seen that episode of South Park with the cable companies, that's exactly how it fucking is. But so if the audio comes up a bit weird, I'm sorry. I'm hoping that the only audio comes out good. But anyways, so like, subscribe, go to iTunes, rate, review, listen. And I made a note of this. It is the holiday season. So any parents out there, before we sign off, go move the fucking elf before you go to bed tonight.
You.
Right? You know how many times I've getting nudged by my wife at like 3 a.m, like, go move the elf. That fucking elf.
Y'all creative with it too.
I try to be. My wife doesn't let me get
The
creative.
best. I'll give you the. I'll give you this one. There's one on. There's one on the TikToks where a parent cut holes in all their children's clothing while they were sleeping, and then took the gas rings of those cut holes and piled it on top of the elf in the elf's home, and said, and there was a note that said, I'm sorry, I got a little cold during last night and I had to get some warmth. And it was like, holy shit, you just cut holes? What a fucking monster.
No, I tried to convince my wife into doing, let me do, like, not for the kids, obviously, or maybe for the kids, might be time they learn, like an elf in the shelf after dark thing for Instagram. Where it's like doing lines of coke off of Barbie's ass, things like that. She wasn't down.
Last year, my daughter's elf was the last day. So right before she was heading out, I tied up all of the dolls, all my daughter's dolls, like behind their backs, and had one in the sink being waterboarded, and said, "Hey, I'm leaving, but I just wanted to let you know, like, your dolls are all going to behave for you while I'm gone."
It's pretty good.
Classic.
And we're going to close on that
Wonderful.
because now we all know
No,
what
we all
Jessica's
know
Pornhub
what
search
Jessica.
looks like.
Yep. We all know.
Mm-hmm.
We're
And
all
like she
here
said,
with
she's
you,
never gotten
Jessica.
any kind of crazy dick pics. So maybe we
We're
buck
all,
that
we're
trend,
all here with
right?
you. Yeah. We're all here with you, Jessica.
So, I mean, she's on Instagram. I'm not going to, like, really dox her on that one, so you're going to have to do some work to find her. But if you find her, get creative with the dick pics, please. And with that, this has been the Nooner Nation. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I know that we get, a little offhand out here. I tend to get to drinking and talking bullshit, but we have fun, googly eyes on my wife's butt. Jessica's search history. So anyways, so we'll be back again next week on Thursday. Like, subscribe, rate, review. Thank you. Good.